but she is only succeeding because she's being authentic and showcasing and surfacing to the world who she really is. So the idea of competition is an illusion. You are the person writing your story. So tonight's topic is force versus flow. So what we're talking about is the idea that a lot of us have of wanting life to happen exactly as we want it to. Although we know that we have, choice. We have our birthright of being able to constantly choose, but we have minimal control. And how we can see that we have minimal control is the culture that you were born into, the place that you were born, your parents, your siblings, all these, big decisions were made, or even the day, the time you were born. All these decisions were made by something outside of you. So to think that you have full control is silly. You can go outside right now, so many different things can happen. However, I think programming has allowed us and wanting us to stay in this mindset of force. We want things to happen our way as fast as possible, the way we want, with the amount of money that we want. We want, a certain type of relationship, right? But this mentality leads us to a very, in a sense, unhappy life. And why that is because we're constantly stuck on asking disempowering questions like why us, rather than really allowing life to flow as it should. All right, so force, again, is the mentality of, I want life to happen this way. I want to have this kind of relationship. I want to have this kind of, marriage, or this kind of career, or I want to have this kind of connection with certain people, some kind of business, and I want it to happen at this time, at this certain place, rather than really allowing things to flow and understanding that you don't have full control. All right, so that's force. A lot of us are moving in force mentality. And what I'm asking tonight is for you to consider to move from force to flow mentality. And what flow mentality is again going back to understanding that you do not have full control. So if you don't have full control, why are you constantly asking disempowering questions on why things are happening to you, rather than curious questions of why is it really happening to me? If I only have choice and I don't have full control, does the entity, all right, or God, creator, universe, the person that actually has full control, actually doing this for the betterment of my future? Flow is really, moving from the mindset. I think a lot of us are, constantly creating. So we believe, or we allow the ego to believe that we are the creator, which is not true. You're constantly creating because you have free choice, and you're able to make all these decisions that accumulate and create your future, but you are not the creator. You are only creating for the time being. So when you start realizing that you don't have full control, right? You start realizing that you are creating, but you're not the creator. When you start moving from this idea of I am full control to really letting go, when you begin to let go, then you move into the flow mentality. And what flow does is it really creates opportunity for change, which equals growth, and really just curious and empowering questions of if there is something, wiser, right? If the creator can see the full scope of my life and not this one chapter that I can see now, why is this happening to me? And asking it from a positive view of, if the creator really can see the full scope, this is happening for a reason. And someone asked, how do I know that what's happening to me is what I need? And a wise man once said, it's because it's happening to you. So that's the answer of why, or is what's happening to me now meant to be happening to me? And it's because you're experiencing it, so it is. And to give an example of, an experience that I had with a client was I had, this young lady that was she was a student. And before she got into college, she was going through a lot of different experiences, or a lot of different obstacles that, took her, I guess, led her into a longer path to be able to really, go to college sooner or fast like everyone else. So for her at the beginning, because she was in the force mentality, she was very negative. And if you know about the brain, you'll understand that the things you most question, the things you won't think about, the process that you constantly think about creates the programming for your brain. So what happened to her is, in the 2 years after getting out of high school, she was stuck in, force. Why am I not going to college? I'm trying so hard, but all these obstacles, why is this happening to me? This shouldn't be happening to me. Why me? Again, asking disempowering questions, which was leading her to disempowering answers. So the force mentality led her to, give up, essentially. And moving forward, I met this young lady after college. So now she's 25 and we're going through our sessions of self-discovery and really diving into these experiences and going to more of a flow mentality of asking, if there is a being, a creator that could see the full scope of my life, beyond this one moment, because I can only see this one moment. If this being could see this whole big picture, why is she prepping me right now? What is this instance trying to teach me or prepare me for the future? And with her situation, what she realized is that time period was so crucial for her, because not only did she really start understanding the importance of education, she really got to spend a lot of important time with her mom because her mom ended up passing. She also is able to now go to school and take all the challenges head on, not like she would have if she went straight from high school. So if you look at the big picture, what the universe, God, was really doing was prepping her for that big moment. Was saying, spend time with your mom right now. I know you want to go to college and you want it now. And you see other people and they're going now and you think it has to be now for you, right? The force. We constantly, and that's really not you, that's the ego. And I had talked about the ego at my first episode 2 weeks ago. So the ego always wants control. It always wants to feel like, identify with things that makes it feel good and gives it a sense of comfort. But we know that change and growth doesn't happen in comfort. All right. So with this young lady, when we got into the flow mentality, when she really started to, leave the force and go into flow, she changed completely. She went from feeling extremely unhappy to happy. Like now she's more of, asking questions of, I know. Okay, so asking questions with trust. That's something else that's important about flow versus force is not only do you think you're creating and you're the creator, you also think, you also have lack of trust in the being, the creator that created all of this. So in lack of trust in yourself, that you're making the right decision, that you've made all the steps necessary, and all the other, all the other pieces that you didn't have control over is actually taken care of. So when you leave force and you go into flow, you start understanding that everything is happening for you and not to you. Everything is happening to push you beyond your limits, but to push you to grow and to become the person that your future needs you to be. Your future career, your future business, your future partner, your future kids. So everything that is happening to you at this very moment is to mold you into the person you want to be and need to be. So force is wanting the growth that you want to happen. When flow is allowing the growth that you need to happen without understanding the how. All right. So even though, especially in America, I think we're programmed to want to feel control and we have a hard time letting go. Flow is the most, life-changing mentality shift you can make. You are not controlled, my brother, my sister. You are not in control. You only have choices. You can only make choices, but the control is not in your hands. So again, for the people signing on and joining us now, we are talking about shifting your mentality from force into flow. So force is thinking that you are in control and everything should be happening to you at the time that you want it, with the amount that you want, if it's money, if it's cars, if it's, whatever your wants and goals are. Force is wanting things to happen at the speed that you want and how you want, rather than really trusting that the universe, that God has your back. And what a forced mentality leads to is unhappiness and into a false perception that you're in control, which is not real. It's in an example I gave earlier is looking back into all these important and key parts of your story and really looking at it and analyzing and seeing that you didn't have any control in creating that, right? You had choices, but choices does not mean full control. And lastly, I will say that when you move into flow, you're really trusting. You're really trusting that, God has your best intention in mind. And that you, as the creating being, right? You're creating, but you're not the creator. And once you actually let go, and I'll speak from experience, I as an entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur is so scary because it's a constant roller coaster. I could tell you, I have awesome weeks that I'm moving up. I have clients. I'm making money. Boom, boom, boom. It's up here. Then all of a sudden next week, nothing. I'm not getting any clients, or maybe I have a bad session with the client and I'm being hard on myself. This is force, right? Being on this roller coaster and feeling up and down as the roller coaster moving is me being in the mentality of force. I want every session to go as I want it. I want it to be successful, whatever that is, whatever I have pictured in my mind. I want to have this amount of money. I want my business to grow at the pace that I want it to grow. That is flow. That has led me to that's force. I'm sorry. That has led me to a very unhappy roller coaster ride, right? And then as I have shifted my mentality to flow, right? Force versus flow, which is our discussion tonight. Now that I have moved into flow, things are just I am at a place of more of curiosity, right? I'm always constantly curious on what God is trying to teach me. And what I have learned is that he sees the ever force, the, life force energy, that entity has seen the full scope of my picture of my life. I am stuck at one chapter. I'm 25 years old, so I'm at chapter 25, and this creator could see up to whatever chapters I have. So for me to not trust and be at force and want it to happen as I want is just silly. And now that I moved into flow, it's just, I'm always curious. And what I've noticed about my curiosity is I'm always awed at my experiences. My business didn't grow as fast as I needed it to, but what I noticed is it was for a reason. It was because there were so many bumps and hurdles and lessons I had to learn at this low scale before I got big scale. If I made all these mistakes that I was making, that I made where I am now at a big scale, I would lose a lot of money, a lot of relationships, a lot of credibility. So my business had to move at the pace that was best for me. But I had to let go of force. So a lot of us are moving in the mentality of force. We want things to happen as fast, but that's not the reality of it. And tonight, I really want to challenge you to change your perspective. Consider it. Consider changing your perspective to flow. Ask the universe and God more empowering questions of, show me what I'm supposed to be learning. What is this opportunity, this experience trying to teach me? Where am I growing towards? What opportunity is coming next that I have to struggle and grow through this? And once you do that, I promise that you will not only do you get the answer, the empowering answer that you need, but you also really start, becoming more grateful for this experience, because it's a constant learning and unfolding. Life is not forced. It's an unfolding. Every year, every second, every minute, every relationship, every experience is an unfolding to move you towards the person that you want to be. But you don't know how you're going to get there. The how is not yours. The how is, it's based in a sense controlled by the creator. So again, guys, that was my talk for tonight. I think it was just huge for me to understand that, and I wanted to share that with my audience. I wanted everyone, and it's something that's a requirement for my clients. They have to go from force to flow. We have to be flowing. We have to be, asking questions that we want answers to, not questions that are leading us to dead ends. So flow, again, is trusting the universe, trusting yourself, trusting that there is someone seeing the bigger picture that you're not able to, as you are only living in the present. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I usually let the last minute or two be questions for anyone that might have a question about flow versus force. And if anyone have any questions after this, you can also direct message me if you don't want to ask on here. But yeah, that was the topic for tonight, guys. I wanted to share that with you. So consider it. Consider moving from force to flow. Because flow is just, it allows you to fully experience life rather than wanting to control where it's going. Because that's just a false illusion. You have minimal control. You have free will, which equals choice. It does not equal control. So let go. And as they say, let God, let universe, and understand that the universe has your back. Okay? So I'm going to check really quick. I'm going to check on Instagram first and see if I have any questions on here. And then I will check on Facebook. So give me a second. So Instagram, just heart eyes, people saying, thank you, I love this. So we have no questions on Instagram. Great, guys. I'm happy you guys enjoyed and found value in this. Please, again, on Facebook and Instagram, share on Instagram through direct message for anyone that you think it's important for them to realize and actually let go of this false conception of control. And then for Facebook, just share. I'm sure someone who needs it will find this video. And then on here, we just have all people joining, a few comments. And then let's go. My heart. Expectation versus gratitude. Yes, Sandy, exactly. Having expectations that are, mostly, it's so hard to actually meet your expectation. And if you do, it's not going to be at the right time. There's so many different moving parts that being stuck and holding on to expectations will only give, have you hurting, self-inflicting pain on yourself rather than, being grateful for what you have and allowing more energy to flow by, practicing that high vibration emotion. And then Sandy said, is flow like allowing? Yes. Yes, Sandy. It is allowing. That is so right. Flow is definitely allowing, the challenges and experiences and people into your life that is needed there, right? And allowing them to stretch you and push you in the right direction for you to grow and continue moving in the direction that you really want. We don't have to know the how, guys. That's important to know. It's definitely, have visions. And I'm an entrepreneur and I'm someone that's constantly setting goals. I'm not saying don't have vision and don't have, goals of where you want to be. What I'm saying is don't be forceful. Don't say like this, if this has to happen now, and if it doesn't happen, my life sucks or my life is not moving in the right direction. I'm not successful because this is not happening at the time that you want. Have goals and have deadlines if you want, but have that understanding that you don't have full control and you are only letting life unfold and it's flowing and things are flowing to you that you don't have full control of. All right, and that is tonight's topic. I think I don't have any questions. That is it. Thank you again, everyone, for signing on. My name is Leyanne Oliveira. I do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Some Mondays I am late because I have a previous commitment that I could not reschedule for a nonprofit that I'm involved in. But I'm here just sharing. I just want to have a platform that I can come on and share about, lessons that I'm learning and things that are just, changing my life and changing my understanding and my mindset. And I would love to just continue sharing with, my Instagram audience as well as Facebook. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, thank you so much for logging on. Share. And I am signing off. Thank you again, guys. And have an awesome night.